Love is a way of building to a crescendo. Ride if you will, ride it with me.
Still November. I thought this morning I would try a little bit of a clean out here of the good old Encore. See what we can see here. There's definitely an odor of yesterday's coffee in it. I guess the only problem with this is it's hard to dry it off and then get more coffee through because it might retain just a little bit more. I think we're gonna be all right. We don't want to use the water on this burr. I want to use the Christmas tree. There it is. Speaking of Christmas trees, I think maybe next week. Oh yeah, look at the buildup right there. Ooh. Build up around this rubber ring here. Hard on everything. I'm thinking about getting the Christmas tree out maybe next week. Since next week is Thanksgiving, and it feels like I won't have the Christmas tree out for very long. They they'll announce when I'm allowed, absolutely ridiculous, but allowed to start putting Christmas decorations out on my front porch. I may just go, when December rolls around, hell, when Thanksgiving Day, the day after Thanksgiving, I'm home. Well, it'll be that Saturday probably, because the football game's that Saturday. Everybody will be around. I'll probably put stuff outside the Saturday after Thanksgiving, but I don't have a lot of stuff, even though I wouldn't mind having a lot of stuff. I'd love to put garland and lights around the front porch and garland and lights all around the light pole outside. I would love to do a bunch of lights outside. It'd be difficult without some kind of hired help to get the to get anything up on the roof or the roof line, or because it's a pretty steep roof, and it's kind of weird in how the over top of the porch, it's actually like metal. Everything else is like shingle, but the part over top of the roof is actually a metal roof, which, if we ever decide that we need to get a new roof, we may be able to, that may be our workaround to get a metal roof instead of shingles. Of course, metal roofs look like shingles now, so I wish I had pictures of the roof that we put on the old house, the one where we had two acres and some change. Is this just okay? Yeah, there is a safety switch in there. All right, so cleaned out, and we'll dry this off. But we had when we went to sell the house, we installed a brand new metal roof on top of it because we felt that we would get that money back, and we did when we sold the house. But it was beautiful. It was almost green in color, I think, but it looked just like shingles. It looked just like stamped shingles, and beautiful. The rain made the most beautiful sound when it hit it. It felt so much better. We also had to have the roof repaired because there was like a back corner that had gotten really really messed up over the years somehow. It had a tree over top of it, so it didn't look very good. Yeah, he's starting to do that when I'm getting loud. Turn anything loud on. This nut comes off. It's actually reverse screwed, so you gotta righty loosey, lefty tighty. But that burr does not come out. I have tried and tried and tried, and it just does not come out. And then I have the hardest time getting this wing nut back on here because I keep forgetting that it's threaded in a different direction. Okay. All right, and then we match this up with this, slide it back on, and we're ready to go. And that is how you clean out the Encore. I watched a tutorial online where someone got out a big vacuum cleaner and tried to vacuum it out, which really seemed fine, but excessive. All right, our last coffee. Welcome to the club. Jingle Bones, coconut, caramel, and vanilla. Ooh. Their caramel surprised me with how delicious it tastes. And then then caramel and vanilla are just amazing. But coconut just surprised the hell out of me. Wait, let it breathe. Let it gasp for air before you put your nose in there. It's fascinating. Oops. I didn't even turn on the scale yet. What a goof. Scale on. Bam. All right. But yeah, the Scotcheroo is good, and then the coconut, it was like a paradise almost flavored coffee that they did that was also part of the Indiana Jones line. Okay, 19.6. That makes me feel a little better. This is going over here. Oh, we're almost there. So let's get this in here and get it buzzed up. It's really important, especially if you do flavored. Oh, that's nice. Got a salty smell to it almost. When you're doing flavored coffees, it's really important to clean out your grinder if you're grinding them up, because it's just a matter of retention, and it's not necessarily just ground retention. Your burrs get covered in the oils that they use to flavor the coffee up. So, I mean, you're getting a lot of oil all over those burrs. So giving them a little bit of a scrub, I mean, because you can't put water down in there, unfortunately. Oops. That's all right. We'll just zero it out. That coconut flavor just it's a flavor too, but the smell definitely hits you in the nose. Vanilla is going to be really subtle, so it's just basically going to be caramel and coconut teasing your senses right now. Okay. Let's put in about 150-ish. We'll let it drain down, then we'll put in the rest. There we go. Raining today again, off and on. And then the mowers were out. I think they were mainly leaf blowing. They're blowing all the leaves, which I guess normally these kind of companies would come in, blow in the leaves, and then bag them. They're incredibly fortunate because surrounding the property is woodland area, so they just have to blow. They just have to blow the leaves into the wooded area, which is fine. I don't care. Might even help to keep the weeds down. And then I guess the resolution, I don't know if you remember, I talked about they wanted to raise our monthly dues because the mowing company was doing one-wheel turns on their zero-turn mowers in the middle of people's yards, digging up bare spots. They have a clause in the contract saying they're not at fault for that kind of damage, which I don't understand as a human being, as someone who is not a lizard, as someone who is not a leech or, what have you. I do not understand how. I mean, I realize that it's seasonal work and there's minimal training going into a lot of the folks that are doing the stuff out here, but still, I mean, if they tear up the yard, they've torn up the yard, and that is they at fault. I mean, I went through this last year with the time they decided to ride the lawnmower just a little bit lower on the side here for whatever reason, and they grabbed my grounding wire and split it in half and tore it up. We had to pay for that, even though they are the ones that destroyed it. But they had a clause in their contract saying, hey, any tertiary damage that happens to be caused by us it's not our fault and our problem, and it's strictly the owner's fault and problem. So I don't understand that. It's really strange why such things are allowed to exist in a culture. You know, I don't understand. I just don't. And it might be a good thing that I don't understand, but still the fact remains that, you know, they're turning around and they're planting one tire in the grass with the brake, and then they're doing a zero turn, and then it's just digging up the grass, and somehow they're not at fault about it. And when they were called and told, hey, you're tearing up front yards, they offered us, hey, we could push mow your front yards and it'll cost you more. And I'm like, that's not a solution, because if we say no, you're still going to be tearing up our front yards and there's nothing we can do about it. So old people talking about old things. We thought getting a condo would get us out of yard talk. It does not. As a matter of fact, because of the age demographic that surrounds us, the yard talk goes up. When we were by ourselves in our own little lot of 2 acres and I was mowing it, it was just me bitching. And then in the fall, him bitching because of the leaves. But now it is a group voice complaining about everything. So, yeah, I mean, but they sent out a notification saying we're not going to go up, even though it is going to cost a little bit more next year. Regardless, our month-to-month fees are not going to go up. So I don't know what happened or how that worked out. It just seems shady that a company gets hired, causes a problem, and then tells you, well, if you want that problem to go away, you can pay us a little bit more, and we won't tear up your front yards while we're mowing them. We won't destroy the things we were hired to take care of. It's just a lot of weird questions, and I'm sure a lot of legalese and whatnot that just goes along with such nonsense. And I do, at times, miss mowing my own yard, but we live here now, so we don't mow our own yard. I'm fine with that, I guess. I don't have to maintain a lawnmower, which I had to do every spring. Hope that it started, and if it started, try to check the color of the smoke that's coming out of whatever part of it is smoking, you know, that kind of a thing. I don't know how that stuff works. All I know is it ran really well. It just didn't have any kind of what is it? Suspension on it. It was just the seats had springs, but that's never enough. And yeah, so it was a garden tractor. So I probably should have had something just a little bit more substantial, but that is what we bought. So, all right. Coconut, caramel, and vanilla. This is Jingle Bones. Oh, that's a wonderful smell combination. So it's not as because the Crusader Cup was based off of the Last Crusade. The Temple of the other one with the coconut in it was based off of the Temple of Doom. And then the one that I didn't really like and I don't remember very well was based off of Raiders of the Lost Ark. But the middle one, and I don't quite remember the name of it, and I know that the Indiana Jones stuff is no longer being sold at Bones Coffee right now, but it was like a coconut and caramel taste that was in that Temple of Doom flavored coffee. It didn't taste like Temple of Doom. It tasted like coconut and caramel. Imagine. Here's your heart flavored coffee, sir. That is nice though. It's not as coconut forward though. You definitely get caramel, and then you get a little hint of vanilla in the creaminess at the very end. It's actually quite tasty. This is a really good coffee. This is This is a coffee that I would put in a thermos on a long drive and take with me and drink, because it's just that tasty. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, that is a joy. It's just creamy. It's just funny when a coffee is creamy, you know, you don't put anything in it, but it just has that creamy flavor. And it's just because they've added a coating around the beans, and the coating just, you know, it's like a candy shell on the beans. It's really, really funny. This is delicious. I mean, I highly recommend if you go on bonescoffee.com and just get their coffee Christmas sample pack. I don't think you can go wrong with any flavor. It goes from minimal flavor with high coffee taste to extreme flavor. I think the sugar cookie is pretty extreme. And then the peppermint bark, the white chocolate peppermint bark, is very extreme as well. Because it is peppermint, you know, with a little hint of chocolate and very little coffee. To this, which is more of a middle of the road, you get the coconut and the caramel, but you still get the coffee, and everything's very well balanced. And it's really nice. Hire me, Bones, for a commercial. I'll do a commercial. Pay me a little money for a commercial. That'd be great. Pay this low-rent YouTuber to do something. The movie. I don't know. Well, thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. We'll keep it simple, stupid. And I've got something else tomorrow. It's not going to be a Bones coffee. It's actually going to be something I picked up from a local store around here. It is Christmas themed. It is pre-ground. So we will see how that tastes in the Chemex. And if it tastes weird enough, we'll do it through the Clever as well, and see how it tastes with both of those. It's Christmas themed, and I'll keep it a surprise. It should be interesting to see what happens. I did check the date. The date is okay. I think it was made maybe a month or two ago. But yeah, you gotta watch the dates. If you buy something in store that is either made locally or made in a way, or put in a bag that makes it look like it's like small batch or something like that, always look at the date in store, because whether it's the born on date, the best before dates are silly. You're always better off trying to find the ones that have a roasted on date. So I learned that. And it's really funny too, if you see a kiosk of coffee from a local creator, and you're kind of going through them just to look to see the variation on dates. They still have the one of the markets still has one of those. I may have to take the camera in there and peek through the coffees to see born on dates, because like we stated before, if something is over 6 months old, you're looking at stale kind of coffee. If it's ground, you might get 3 to 4 months out of it. But if it's beans, you're probably looking at about 5 to 6 months before you lose significant flavor and it tastes really stale. There were some that were a year old in that kiosk the last time I looked, and that's why I didn't buy any. I think I featured it once on the channel. I intentionally bought the oldest coffee there, and it tasted like garbage. I threw it away. But I did it for the lulz. Maybe I'll do that again. Since I've got more viewers now. That was at a point where the viewership was a little low, and the amount of people that are subscribed to me that don't watch videos is really weird, and I don't understand why. And then the amount of people that come in that aren't subscribed, that leave without subscribing, again, a little weird. But what are you gonna do? It's the internet, and everybody has a very short attention span. Thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Tune in this afternoon. I will be streaming some 7 Days to Die with the Darkness Falls mod. We have advanced. I can't find certain tools. I need to find the tools. We'll see if we can find the tools. That's neither here nor there right now. That's coming up, though, around 1:30, 2 o'clock. Have a great day. We will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.